So
This
in your
conference will now be recorded.
so in your Eclipse, when you clone any repository, you will have a different workspaces, right? So here also you can create your own workspace. Testing, testing. So you can create your own workspace, and here you can save your REST API call. For example, in your product, so if they are performing any, if you want to store any REST API calls, you can create a collections. For example, here if you see there are a different calls are available. You see this get call. So this is the get call. So when you hit this get call, what you are getting some user details. See here, if you have name, username, ID, everything you are getting, right. So this is the response. So when you hit this REST API call, the response should be like this. So what they are doing, what they will do generally, developers, they will take this response and they will integrate it with the UI part. So when you integrated this data with the UI, you will see this data in the UI. So before that, integrating with the UI, you are checking whether the data is correctly populating or not. I mean, all the fields are displaying, like in the address, you need to have these many fields. So by using the API call, you will test that functionality. So it's nothing but, so if you see, it's just verifying the is a scalable API testing tool that quickly integrates into the CI/CD pipeline. So it started 2012, and so application interface which allows the applications to continue each other via the API calls. The basically it will use it for testing the API calls. Application programming interface. So the API means application programming interface. To test these calls, we will generally use the Postman. So what is the Postman means? So here if you see in almost all the companies are now started testing the web services. So there are a different tools are available compared to the Postman, but the Postman is more easy, useful, and you can also segregate the API calls which you are testing. So you can create the collection and you can also export these API calls. If you see here, you can have a many kind of features you can export. So I have executed some calls, and if you want to execute the same calls, what I will do, I will export and I will give that file, and if you import those files, you will get all the REST API calls here. So there are a lot of other benefits also there in the Postman, so that's why the Postman is using nowadays more. So accessibility. So so if you want to access this Postman, you need to log in as a Gmail, anything. If you see here, I logged in as a Gmail. I used my Gmail address. See, Sarita, so you need to log in into any email ID. So that is the to access the Postman, you need to log in, use any of the Gmail, any of the email IDs. So here the use of the collections. The here if you have a collection, so for example, you can change this name, rename. So first, for example, you have a some module one. So you can create one more collection. So this is, we can call it as a module two. So like this you can create any number of collections. So one in the module one you are adding one request. So this is when you click on this request, you will get this window. So here you can have there are many options. We will go through each one now. But the use of the collection is nothing but the user can create their collection for their own Postman API call. Each collection can create subfolders, multiple requests. This helps in organizing your test suites. So for example, we'll take Amazon site. So this is your Amazon site. So once you inspect, right click on this one. So here you have a network tab. Once you click on that one, so when you click on mobiles, just clear that, click on mobile. When you click on mobile, you will get the whatever the calls you are. See, this is the mobile call. You are understanding this? So when you click on something, there is a backend calls will be going to the application. It will show the data. So once you click on that one, so if
Class
you
and
see
Let's go.
here, you have a request URL, request method, and the status code. So the same thing we will do it here. So this is a get call. This is the site, and when you hit this one, so you will get the 200 status code, and you will get this page. So you, here, if you see in the response, so this response is equal to this response. So what they will do, so when before they integrated that API call into UI, you are not hitting directly, right? So when you click on mobile option in the UI, you are getting some response. So that backend part we will test using the test API call. So this is the mobile. If you have this, this is the mobile. So like this you can create any number of modules. If you want to create the sub modules also, you can also create the folders. So means how you segregate your API calls, it depends on your project or your use cases, but you can have a collections high level, you can have any number of sub modules. Under the sub modules you can have the get call. So this is the main feature of the Postman, the collections, the collaboration. The collaborations and environments can be imported and exported, make it easy to share the files. The direct link can also be used to share the collections. So here I have done this one. So if I want you, some new person joined in your team, so you want to send the API calls which we generally test. So instead of sending the API calls one by one, what you will do, you will store these API calls in your collection, right? So you will you will click on this one and you will export this one. So once you exported this, so it will give one file, exported file. See, is that once? Okay. See, this is a downloads, and you will save it. So, so this is a module one Postman collection. So if you want to import these collections into some new collection in your Postman, or the other person want to install this one, so just what you will do, you will select this collection and you will import that one. So file, upload file, download, and module one, save, import, import as a copy. See here, you will have a get request, right? So import as a copy. See here, in the module one we exported, and in the module one copy we imported. See, if you see here, the get mobile call and this one also imported. So what you can export the request and you can import the request, So this is also one of the, you can also share the link. So if you have this one, instead of exported file, so you can also create a link and hit this one, share collection. So you can share this correct collection also, testing tutorial, share and continue. So you can give the, so it will directly link, it will directly share the links. So from that link, you can also download. You got my point, right? So you can also export and send that file, or you can directly share the collection link to the other person also. So there is a two ways to share the your REST API calls. Creating environments. So this is also, you can create the environments, different kind of environments. So creation of test, automation test can be run in multiple iterations, saving the time of the debugging continuous integration. Okay. So we'll see that those points. So once you downloaded, you will get this pop-up. Once you run this one, you will get it will ask the any Gmail, you need to log in into this account. So once you logged in, you will get this screen. So just now you saw, right? So this is the screen we will get by default. So here each one they explain what is the link. So if you see, this is the one. So this you will create a new request. So here you will see, right, new. This is a new collection. Here the new button will create a HTTP request. When you click on this one, it will create a new request. So you can see, you can go through all these things. What is the icon? Each icon is telling. So now we will see the actual REST API call. Okay, when you send this one, you will get the response like this. See. Okay. So this is a get call. So when you hit this one, you are getting some response. This we will call it as a status code, and this we will call it as a what is the request type, whether it is a get call, whether it is a post call, whether it is a put call, whether it is a delete call. So based on that, we need to select the request type. Here we need to pass the request URL, means what URL you are going to hit. So that is the one thing. And once you hit this one, you will get response here. So if you can also change the response like any format. If you want to change the response, so you can pass it here. There is a header concepts will be there. So if you want to get the response in a different format, here the content type will be there. So application XML. So if you pass this one, the response data will be in the form of XML. So maybe this accept. Okay, I will. So based on the some applications, they will support both XML, JSON, plain text. These are the different types of response format. So this API call is only supporting the JSON. So that's where you are getting only the JSON format. So this is the JSON format. Okay. So this is the get request type, and this is the request URL. So this is the response, and this is the status. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So here, if you see, here it explain very well.
హలో
So, hello.
మేడం ఇలా వెబ్సైట్ లో ఓపెన్ చేసుకోకుండా మీరు కోడింగ్ ఏదైనా రాసి చూపిస్తే బాగుంటది కదా మేడం. అంటే
Coding
ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి మనం చేయాలనుకున్నది అలా వెబ్సైట్స్ ద్వారా కాకుండా ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి మన ఓన్ గా ఏదైనా క్రియేట్ చేస్తే బాగుంటది కదా. ఈ వెబ్సైట్స్ అవి నేను సెర్చ్ చేసుకోగలను.
మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే రెస్ట్ కాల్ అనేది హౌ టు how to execute. If you know that, that is enough for using the Postman.
అది కాదు మేడం, ఇప్పుడు డౌన్లోడింగ్స్ ఇవన్నీ నేను మామూలుగా వెబ్సైట్స్ చూసో యూట్యూబ్ లో చూసో నేను నేర్చుకోగలను. కానీ నాకు కోడింగ్ మీరు ఒక ఫోల్డర్ అంటూ క్రియేట్ చేసి వాటి ద్వారా చెప్తే బాగుంటది. ఏం చెప్పాలనుకున్నా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ మీరు ఓన్ గా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసి.
సో మీరు ఏం చెప్తున్నారంటే ఒక సైట్ తీసుకొని ఆ సైట్ లో వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అన్నది యూ వాంట్ కంప్లీట్ సైట్ ఏపీఐ కాల్ ఆటోమేషన్ యూ వాంట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద పోస్ట్మ్యాన్, అంతేనా?
ఓన్లీ పోస్ట్ మ్యాన్ అనే కాదు మేడం, మనం ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ మినీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లా తీసుకున్నాం. రియల్ టైం అంటే అలా చెప్పొచ్చు కదా అంటున్నా.
ఆహా లేదు, అంత లెవెల్లో రియల్ టైం ఉంది, అంత ఆ లెవెల్లో అయితే నా దగ్గర కోడింగ్ లేదండి. అంటే మీకు ఏ టూల్ కి ఆ టూల్ సపరేట్ గానే ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు ఒక కంప్లీట్ ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కావాలంటే యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్, అదే మీరు ఎవరిని కాంటాక్ట్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళు అడగండి. సో ఇఫ్ దే ప్రొవైడెడ్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. బట్ నా సైడ్ నుంచి రియల్ టైం ప్రాజెక్ట్ అయితే ఐఎమ్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ దట్.
ఓకే, మీ సైడ్ నుంచి రియల్ టైమ్ గా అయితే ఇలానే అంటారు.
అంతే అండి.
ఏదన్నా ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ తీసుకుని చెప్పడం అనేది కుదరదు అంటారు.
If they provided, I can give the KT on that project. But నా side నుంచి from the scratch అయితే I cannot provide.
ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక ఈ-కామర్స్ సైట్ గానీ బ్యాంకింగ్ డొమైన్ గానీ ఏదో ఒకటి తీసుకుని మనం ఓన్గా చేయొచ్చు కదా.
అదే అండి, నేను కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్తున్నప్పుడు యూ నీడ్ టు ప్రాక్టీస్. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఆ సైట్ ఇచ్చాక కూడా వాట్ యూ విల్ డూ, యూ విల్ గో త్రూ ఇట్, దట్స్ ఇట్. సో ఇప్పుడు వైల్ మీరు యూట్యూబ్ లో వింటారు, యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ ఏ మినీ సైట్స్. వెన్ యూ ప్రాక్టీస్ దట్ వన్ యూ విల్ గెట్ అన్ ఐడియా.
ఒక సైట్ లోంచి ఒక సైట్ కి వెళ్ళి ఇలాగా కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేస్తుంటే కొంచెం చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ గా ఉంటుంది.
కంప్లీట్ గా ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ రియల్ టైమ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అయితే ఐఎమ్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ ఓన్లీ టూల్ వైజ్ information, if you want one site to be automated using this tool ante I can provide. But end to end aithe I'm not having that much info. You can contact to that team, I mean where you have contacted, right? So you can check with them. They have real time project. If you have any questions on that, I can provide and I can give explanation on that project.
ఓకే, ఇంకా మనకి ఎన్ని డేస్ ఉంటుంది క్లాస్?
ఈ పోస్ట్ మ్యాన్ ఒక రోజు ఉంటుందండి, గిట్ హబ్ ఒక రోజు ఉంటుంది, మ్యాథ్స్ గిట్ హబ్ 2 days, పోస్ట్ మ్యాన్ 1 day, 3 classes.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలండి. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎన్నో యూట్యూబ్ చూస్తారు, బట్ యూ డింట్ ప్రాక్టీస్. నాకు అంటే మీరు ఏ టైంలో అడిగినా యూ డింట్ ప్రాక్టీస్. వినడం అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇది విన్నంత ఈజీగా ఉండదు, మీరు చేస్తుంటే యూ విల్ ఫేస్ సమ్ ఇష్యూస్ వైల్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్. సో మీరు విన్నప్పుడు
యాక్చువల్గా ఫస్ట్ లో నేను ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేదాన్ని, ఇప్పుడు ల్యాప్టాప్ ఇష్యూ రావడం వల్ల చేయడం కుదరట్లేదు, అది సెట్ చేయించాలి.
అదే ఇప్పుడు వెన్ యూ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఆల్సో యూ విల్ గెట్ డౌట్స్. నేను కొన్ని మిస్ చేయొచ్చు, వైల్ డూయింగ్ యువర్ థింగ్స్ యూ విల్ డూ సమ్ మిస్టేక్స్ and you will stuck somewhere. So if you practice some site, you will get to understand what is this and real time project ichna you will go through it, but you will not get a complete idea. So take any e-commerce site, whatever you are telling, you can try with that. So if you are facing or you are stuck in anywhere, I'm here to help you.
అట్ ప్రెసెంట్ నాకు మెడికల్ డివైజెస్ మీద ప్రాజెక్ట్ వచ్చింది. అంటే ఇంకా కేటీ జరుగుతుంది. దాంట్లో ఏంటంటే ఈ మాకిటో, జే యూనిట్, జకోకో ఈ 3 చెప్పారు నా వరకు. అవి నేను నేర్చుకుని రివర్స్ కేటీ ఇవ్వాలని చెప్పారు.
జే యూనిట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ టెస్టింగ్. సో టెస్టింగ్ మనం కాన్సెప్ట్ చూసాం కదా, ఎట్ ది రేట్ ఆఫ్ టెస్ట్, బిఫోర్ టెస్ట్, ఆఫ్టర్ టెస్ట్, బిఫోర్ గ్రూప్, మనం అవి అనేబుల్, గ్రూప్స్ సెగ్రిగేట్ చేయడం అవన్నీ చూసాం కదా. సేమ్ యాజ్ JUnit to TestNG is equivalent, but compared to JUnit, TestNG will be the more powerful. We have a more functionalities. That's it. సో మాకిటో అయితే మాకిటో జెకాకో అవి నాకు ఐడియా లేదండి, అదే నేను ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేశాను కదా మీకు ఆల్రెడీ. సో ఇట్స్ డిపెండ్స్ on the project and the company. They will use different kind of tools. Mockito will be used for testing the uh, unit testing purpose. They will use that language Mockito.
మాకిటో JUnit రెండు ఇంచుమించు ఒకటేనా మేడం?
లేదండి, అది డిఫరెంట్, ఇది డిఫరెంట్. సో ఇదేమో JUnit అనేది మనము మన ఆటోమేషన్ టెస్టింగ్ కి యూనిట్ టెస్టింగ్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ గా వాడతాము. మాకిటో అనేది డెవలపరు వాళ్ళ యూనిట్ టెస్టింగ్ కోడ్ కోసం యూజ్ చేస్తారు. బోత్ ఆర్ యూనిట్ టెస్టింగ్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్.
వీడియోస్ చూస్తుంటే మాకిటో విత్ JUnit 5 అని అలా ఉన్నాయి. దాన్ని బట్టి నాకు డౌట్ వచ్చింది, రెండు ఒకటా సిమిలర్ గా ఉంటాయా అని.
లేదు లేదు, అంటే బోత్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్. సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇది ఉంది, ఒక కోడ్, ఒక ఫైల్ రాస్తారు. మీరు ఒక ఫైల్ రాస్తే డెవలపర్స్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఒక ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ రాస్తారు అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో ఒక ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ రాస్తారు డెవలపర్, వాళ్ళ డెవలప్మెంట్ కోడ్ లో ఒక ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ రాస్తారు అనుకోండి. సో దే విల్ యూస్ మాకిటో లాంగ్వేజ్ టు టెస్ట్ దిస్ లాజిక్. డెవలపర్స్ రాసుకుంటారు, దాంట్లోని యూనిట్ టెస్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి అనమాట డెవలపర్స్ కూడా. సో దే విల్ రైట్ ఏ యూనిట్ టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ టు టెస్ట్ దిస్ లాజిక్ using Mockito. So that for unit testing only they will use a Mockito, but the developers will mostly use. So JUnit ఏంటంటే you will have this logic in the application, but you will not verify directly this logic. You will use some UI and you will write at the rate of test, and you will navigate to some page, and you will click on username, password. I mean, you will perform some actions in the JUnit. So both are different. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a Postman. Did you understand what is the collections, what is the request type, at least some part?
అంటే రిక్వెస్ట్ గెట్ ఇవి అర్థమైనాయి కానీ కలెక్షన్స్ నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
Collections is nothing but generally the collection, general terminology. What is collection? Group of things putting together. Group of ఏదైనా కానీ ఇట్స్ జనరల్ ఇంగ్లీష్ టర్మినాలజీ. వాట్ ఈస్ కలెక్షన్? గ్యాదరింగ్ థింగ్స్ ఇంటూ వన్ ప్లేస్, రైట్? సో ద సేమ్ థింగ్ here also. Here gathering things is nothing but here the different kind of request. So you will place different kind of request, or whatever the request you will put under the some module. So that will become a collection. Collection is nothing but placing all the requests in one folder.
All the request means get to post అన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ కలిపా?
Anything. If you have any kind of request. So things ఇప్పుడు జనరల్ గా కలెక్షన్ అంటే మీరు ఏదైనా కలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు మీ ఇంట్లో ఒక కలెక్షన్ ఉంది, ఒక కలెక్షన్ చేయాలి అంటే మీ ఇంట్లో సామాన్లు అన్ని కలెక్షన్ చేస్తారు. సో నాట్ ఓన్లీ ద స్పెసిఫిక్ థింగ్స్, రైట్? సో సేమ్ లైక్ దిస్, సేమ్ థింగ్ ఇన్ ద కలెక్షన్ you will put all kind of request. So here you have a one get call, right? So if you want to add one more, so here click on this one and click new request. And request to start when you are in backlog. Okay. నానా లట్టు మీటింగ్ లో ఉందండి. So this seems to be you can purchase when you are back. It's showing offline. So you can add any kind of data in your collections like get call, post call, any kind of collection. So we'll see that. So maybe my email ID is stopped. Workspace, we have created separate file, sign in. This is testing tutorial site. So this is a model, and here you will create new request. So here if you have a post, any URL you want to post data, so you can save this one. So here you have it. So you can also change the request name. So here I'm using the post user creation. You can save the things and you can save it. See here, if you want to add one more request, you can add, and here get user details. So this is a get call. So you can save. So here under the collection you have a sub model. So this, for example, this is for users, only users related request. if you have a another request which are related to the, for example, users in the, consider there is a company. In the company there will be the employees. In the same company you will have a different kind of departments, right? So you can also have a departments. Okay, so under the departments you can have a different kind of request also. So you can have add department. I mean the REST API calls will be the different. So here instead of users you will have a departments. Okay, so like you can store. So under the collection you will have a different models. Under the different models you will have a different. Okay,
Okay.
is that clear?
Okay, ma'am.
So that is about the collections. So if you want to create a new user, already if you get this one, so what you are getting? So here you are getting all the users, right? So for example, here you have one second.
Okay.
So this is a you have a this records, this many records. Add the new user means you are inserting something, means you are sending some data to the application, means you need to use the put call. So once you have a this API call, you need to pass the data, right? What is the username, what is the password? So here you need to select the raw and which type of body you are sending. So if you see here, so this is JSON body you are sending. The JSON format will be like this. So here the 11 you are sending as a 11th record, and this is the user details. Before that you need to check whether this 11th record is available or not. See, you have only up to 10 records. You are seeing, right? So you have only 10 records here. Okay, id equal to 10. So you are inserting new record 11. So when you do this means you are inserting something, means you need to use the post call. So once you have this one, if you click on send, it will send the request. So see, it is inserted. So when you do the get call again, you will get the 11 records now. See, to go to this one, it got inserted. What is it inserted? Yeah, it got created. You can use the get call. That record, it will be inserted. Now you will get the 11 records. So here it is created. The creation is nothing but the 201 id is equal to 11. It's my mistake. Postman, insert. This is a create id equal to 11. So then next get users. This is the 11. You can also see 11. Then You check why that 11th record is not created. So this, if you want to get the only specific user detail, only specific user details, you need to pass the ID. So if you pass this 10, so you will get only the 10th ID person details. If you want to get only the, we will call this as a parameter. Whatever you are passing here, right? So we will call those as a parameter. So if you pass one, so it will get this only first record. So if you are not passing any data and if you are hitting the main URL, you will get all the records. See 1 to 10 you will get. Okay. So in the post you will create. So generally once you post means you inserted this record. When you do the get call again, that record will also be into the response, but I am not sure why this is not happening. So I will look into and I will tell tomorrow. But this record will also be displayed once you created. So once you after insertion, you will, if you do the get call, it will show this record details also. Okay.
Okay.
So when you do post call, so in the get call, just you will not select anything here. When you do the post call, you will pass the some body part. Means you are inserting something, means you need to pass what needs to be insert, right? So that information will be sent into the body. Okay. So in the
Okay.
get call, you will not do anything. In the post call, so it's a post and you are inserting something, means what data you are inserting, you need to pass in the body, right? So in the body, you are inserting these data. So you will do the send. So send means this API call will hit and it will get the response. So once you see, if you insert this one, so what it is giving, if it is giving 201 created, means previously when you see the get call, you have got this 200, right? So when you getting some data from the application, so what it is giving, so you are inserting. So if it is response inserting something, I mean that got created, so you will get the response giving some, I mean this URL is not there. So when you performing the get call, you will get the bad request when the URL 50404. See, the URL is not found. This ID is not existing in the list. So the basically you will check the rest status code. If it is 200 means the application is returning correct response. If you are giving some wrong URL, it will give the 404. 404 means if the URL is not exist. See, this ID is not there in our list, right? So we have 10 records. In the 10 records, this ID is not existing. So that's why you got the 404 error. So here you can also see how much time this API call is taken to get the data. So if you pass this one, so now 1080 is there, right? So if you hit the actual URL, you will see 41 milliseconds it took to get this data. So generally in some projects, what they will do, they will see this response time also. This response time should not exceed the 1 minute, because if REST API call itself is taking the 1 minute response, means when you integrated with the UI, it will take more time. So they will see the response time, how much this REST API call is taken, will also be that information is also available in the Postman. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the post and the get. So you can also have a delete call. I'm not sure whether it is allow or not. So see, when you, so what we do, so we have deleted the record one, whoever the ID. Let's see in the get call, one is there or not. Yeah, one is there, but that site is not right. When you do this delete call, what it will do, it will delete the record. So whatever the parameter you are passing, right, so that will delete the record. means it will delete the record from the database. Database or any application, whatever the where you are storing that. So using delete means it is deleting. Post means it is inserting. Delete means it is deleting. Get means select. I mean getting the data. Post means inserting. Delete means deleting. And you are removing the data from the backend.
Database.
Yeah, database. If you are using the database, it will delete the record from the database. If you are storing this information in a file, so it will delete the data from the file. Means removing. Got it right?
Okay.
Okay. So when you use the put call, so you have another call put. So you have this one. So let me explain in it. You have this get call. Okay. So here you want to update this username. So this username is spell mistake. So you want to update this username. So what generally you will do? If you use the post call means you are inserting new data. Deleting means you are removing, but you want to update the data which is already there in the database. Means you want to update. You are modifying something, right? So for that, so what we will use? You will use the put call. Put is updating existing data. Got it right? Post means inserting. Delete means removing. Put means updating the existing data. Select means get means selecting the data. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, these are the 4 different types of requests. So each request is having their own purpose. So this is the Postman usage. I will try to, as you said, I will create, I will take one site, not Selenium project, but only up to the Postman purpose. I will take one site and I will create module, those kind of things. I will try to create these kind of stuff, and I will tomorrow I will show it. This is the Postman things. Based on your requirements, you will change the uh, I mean you will use many functionalities are available. So if you want to post this 100 users, if you want to create 100 users, you can also do that using the Postman. You can create the you can iterate the same request by changing this ID. So those kind of things also available. So I will uh, write one example and I will show it to you tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
Hmm? Read
Oh,
first, at least to try to download, try something so that you will get some idea.
okay.
Hmm?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I will share this link. Yeah, I will share the link. Maybe the WhatsApp is not opening.
Okay, ma'am.
Read and try something so that you will get some questions. We will discuss more on that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, then bye. I will share that link. So maybe connection is not there. I will share it.
No problem, ma'am. లింక్ నాకు తెలుసు.
Okay, then okay. You can use.
Okay.
You can read that. Okay. Bye.
Okay, ma'am. Bye.